Hello and good evening. Oh, very squint. Very squint. Not sure quite what's occurred there. I'm fiddling about with my camera a bit too much. Yeah. Once again, we're in a mess. How are you? If somebody would like to say hello, I can find out if the chat's working today. And if it's not, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. So today, I'm going to try something I've never tried before, but I've seen. And don't ask me why it's called dopamine colouring. But it is. It's called dopamine colouring. And I think it's because you basically just let go and you make a mess and it sort of all comes together at the end. So it's very much how you would colour as a child. So it's just therapeutic and fun and good. So I've not tried it before, but I thought we'd give it a try today. So there's quite a few of you watching. I can see that. I'm going to have to go onto my iPad because as of yet, I wonder if I was to toggle that, whether that, oh no, I don't like that. I'm not seeing chat. I'm not seeing comments come up. So let me have a little look. It's annoying. I was hoping to. Let me have a little look. Where has YouTube disappeared to on my iPad? Because there's normally more of you on YouTube. Let's have a little look. Sorry, guys. Where am I? Sorry about this. Right, I am live. Right, yeah. So again, the chat's not working. I can see you on YouTube. I will eventually get Facebook sorted as well. Hi, Alison. I'm just, yeah. I'm trying to film a little bit of a reel on my phone at the same time. Hello. Kezia has clicked. Can you tell your father that the chat is not working? Right, let's swizzle you around and let's get going. We've spent enough time faffing about. So let's do this and alter the lighting. And hopefully that will work. I apologize for not kind of looking directly at you while we were going. There we go. Right, so I've already stamped this out because I'm kind of wanting to focus on the colouring. And I have stamped, I used this stamp here and I added the sort of 3 of them in the center. And then I've used this stamp here and I've kind of gone around the edges and then filled out any gaps with the little acorn and these. And that is where we are. I'm only seeing comments on YouTube. I will try and switch over. I'll try and get my phone onto Facebook. For some reason, my big fancy system once again is not working. Thank you, Kezia. Right, so let's have a look. So the idea of dopamine colouring, I've never tried it before, so bear with. This could be amazing or it could be an utter disaster. We shall find out. But basically, it's like you just colour with reckless abandonment like a child. And somehow it all comes together, I believe. So let's just do that. I have stamped in Memento ink so that it will work. And we're basically just gonna scribble. I'm working in my I use the Hero Arts. I use this. So it does seem to kind of move slightly, but it's because we're going to be using multiple mediums. So basically, we are just going to scribble. We are going to scribble and see what occurs. Once again, it's not working. I don't know if you can get it working, sorry. I realise you might not be able to do it whilst it's going. Oh, that's quite a dark colour. I don't know that I want that. Oh, that's very bright. Look at that one. That was very bright. I'm not sure I wanted to do that either. So basically, we're just scribbling. Bear with. There will be, I believe it all comes together. From what I've seen. From what I've seen on Colour Talk. So I've not actually tried this for myself yet. I've just seen what other people have done. And the idea is, like, obviously anyone can do this. Right now I'm literally just scribbling colour onto a page, and quite frankly anyone can do that. It looks hideous. But the idea is that we will gradually, with shadows and bits and pieces like that, we will bring it all together and then neaten up at the end with acrylic paint pens. I think this pen's done. This pen here is done. Let's bring another yellow in. I'm literally just going with what's on my desk. If we can't get it going, can I get your iPad for Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. For those of you on YouTube, I can see you. I can see your comments. At the minute, it's just, yes, it is definitely a trust the process moment. I really hope it is, because right now it looks like a mess, and anyone tuning in will be thinking, goodness me, what on earth is that crazy woman doing? And you would be right. You would be right to think such a thing. But have you ever watched children create, and they literally just like scribble stuff on a page and they're so happy? And I think as adults, we stop doing that. And hello, Sue. How are you? We are trying to fix it. For some reason, things are not working again. Technology is marvelous when it works, and it's a pain in the bottom when it doesn't, quite frankly. Let's put some more of this bright red in. Ooh, scary. Just put a little bit of it in because it is quite scary. Ooh, echo. Echo, echo, echo. All my yellows seem to be very dry. Let's grab another one. I've gone for these colours because I'm thinking, because we've got like acorns and flowers and stuff like that, that acorns and flowers, that it seems autumnal flowers. Plus, we're kind of almost into November, so I kind of feel like we're going to have to switch from autumnal makes to winter makes, and autumnal is my favourite. I'm good, thank you, Sue. What's everybody been up to? Oh, these alcohol markers are quite strong. There's quite a fume coming off them. These are the Ahuhu ones. I've not really had that happen before. Quite interesting. I've got a plug there. Dankeschön. Oh, I bet you're all glad you tuned in now, isn't it? Look at this. It's delightful. It's amazing. That's fab. Oh, thanks. Is that Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Right. I do have, not that anyone's, I can now see Facebook as well. May you hop down and steal a canvas. I think there's either some in the cupboard or, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where they are. I can't remember. I reorganised the craft space. Dad will have a look. So now I'm just going to go over some of these colours to sort of blend them slightly better, I think. Ooh, she says, pulling out the darkest one. I need to leave that one to the side. Let's get a really pale pink. I think she wants a blank one. I'll maybe have to find them. I think I'll maybe have to find them later, Kezzy. No. I've rearranged my studio, and I can't remember where I put them. No. It's half term. Are you enjoying? Yeah, well, Kezia is. I should know that because Kezia has not had maths today. But then she didn't have, no, she's not had English today, but then she didn't have maths last week. So I think they've kind of done their own thing. Right, I think we need to get paler pink to sort of blend out these darker bits. We're going to have such a bleed through. Well, it's actually not too bad. Look, when I am loading the alcohol markers on, and yes, there's bleed through. These are the Pink Pig journals. There is bleed through, which you would expect, but it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. We're going to need a paler pink. I'm just going to tone some of this down. I really hope this works. Oh dear. Because after this bit, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. Right, so the idea now is we will grab some darker tones. So let's grab some slightly darker oranges and some darker greens. There's an uncoloured bit in the corner that's annoying you. Yeah, don't worry, we will get to the uncoloured bits. Trust the process. Right, so I'm just kind of going to go in now, and I think let's build up a bit more gradually. We're going to build up some of the... Some places have a 2-week holiday, you only have one. So we're going to build up the shadow areas. So behind the flower, I'm just going to build up some of these shadow areas. So some of the areas that we would normally have the shadows. So we think about all the rules that we've kind of used in colouring, but it's very loose. And I'm just going to gradually build up the shadow areas. The circle fruit, that one there. Yeah, I know. Sorry. We're going to be putting a background in, and that bit's too far over. That was bad stamping. So I'm going to colour in, and let's add a little bit of shadowing behind these flowers. Don't worry, we're going to put a background in. Calm down. You've got to trust. You have to trust your mother. Mother knows best. Let's add a little bit of colour to these acorns, because they would have... So we're just playing now. I'm just kind of the techniques that we maybe normally do. We think about where the shadows are. We're built. So that was like what we've put down was almost like an underpainting. So quite often, I think as crafters, we quite often miss a trick there, but artists very often put an underpainting down. So they will have a layer of colour. And what that does is it sort of tones the paper, tones the project, and it means as you build up the layers, you don't necessarily see what's underneath, but everything has a similar tonality to it, which makes the whole thing look cohesive. And that is kind of what we are doing here. Like what we've done with just scribbling all the colours down is just add that underpainting or add, you know, that initial base layer down. And we're just going to gradually play, not going to think about it overly. And hopefully the plan is that it should all kind of come together. For those of you on Facebook, I can now see comments. Well, I think I can. Nothing's come in the chat. So if you're on Facebook, feel free to say hello. I can see there's a few of you on there. Okay. Let's get some greens down. What has everybody been up to today? Have you had a fun day with your half term, Alison? Have you been able to relax and enjoy it? Where was that green thing that I had before? So now I'm being a bit more precise. Not very precise, very, very scribbly. And I'm not, I mean, if you watched me before, you know that I spend a lot of time on colouring. So you can see that I'm not doing that. I think that's possibly why it's called dopamine colouring, that you've not got the same, you're literally just scribbling and playing, and you're not putting yourself under the same pressure as you would be, because we're not aiming for perfection. We're just playing with colour and having fun. Has anyone heard of dopamine colouring before? Is this a new thing? Have you heard of this term before? You've done lots of reading and some craft. Are you reading any good books at the minute? Kezia and I are heading off on holiday on Thursday. So, but we've got loads of stuff to take down. So I'm not sure how many books I'll be able to pack myself. We're going to a Comic-Con thing in Kingsland at the weekend. So there'll be no live next week. Because of that. But yeah, it should be fun. You've not heard of it? Oh well, I hope we find it fun. Anyone? Well, yeah, I think it's probably a bit too soon to ask you if you think you're going to give it a try, because right now you're probably like looking and thinking that I've gone completely mad, and you're wondering, oh, what on earth? So I get that I maybe shouldn't ask that question until the end. Shouldn't ask until the end if you think that you're going to be giving it a try, because right now it probably, I think it works well on sort of floral arrangements like this. This is my first time attempting it, so I've seen it mostly on floral things like this, so I kind of thought that's maybe what I needed to stick with. And then maybe as I become a bit more confident in this technique, we can maybe try different subject matters in the future. You used to go to the Comic-Con in York. Well, this is the first one we've ever been to, and Kezia and her friend are dressing up as characters from My Hero Academia. Kezia has me making both the costumes, so she's been working on it for weeks and weeks. So somehow I have to get these crazy costumes. I mean, they're fab, but they're quite bulky, on a train down to Grantham on Thursday. So yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun navigating that. So tomorrow we aim to pack and see what occurs. You just got the last book in the Philip Pullman series, the book of the Dust. So rereading the series as it's been a while. Ooh, sounds fun. I've started reading a book. What's it called? It's a fantasy book, and I don't normally read fantasy books, but I feel like I want to get into fantasy books. I feel like there's something I want to read, even though I currently have never really read them. What was it? I can't remember. Something... I think it's called Once Upon a Time, but the time is THYME. Now I'm going to add a bit of brown to these. And as I say, I'm still just keeping the whole thing very loose, very scribbly. You're going to leave the live for a second, but you'll be back. You're going to try your cosplay on. You can come and show people when you're done if you want, sweetheart. She's made 2 cosplay outfits, hers and one for her friend. And they are amazing. I'm just dreading taking them down on the train. It's a long journey. My friend is definitely going to have to meet me with gin at the other end of the journey. That's all I can say. It's like, oh, I need gin. Oh, that pen needs some repair. I'm just I don't even know what colours I'm grabbing. I'm just sort of grabbing colours that sort of, I think, might somewhat blend. It's looking nice and rich, isn't it? I like the colours. Thing is, I'm working in my art journal, and this is sort of the whole point of an art journal. An art journal is to learn and experiment. This might turn out a total disaster. And if it does, that's fine. Hopefully I will have learned something in the process. And then, as I said, maybe next time I approach it, I would approach it somewhat differently. But we will see how it goes. Some of you got little crowns by your names. I'm not sure what that means. Deb and Alison and Sue, you've all got little crowns. Does that mean you've done something special? Thank you for whatever you've done. Let's go back. Where was those pinky colours again? Let's try and get some pink in here, I think. Oh, that's quite a light pink. Very bright and cheery. It's very different. Ooh. What's that other one? That was the one that I was having fun with earlier. It's great to see homemade costumes, but she's done really well. They are amazing. And you'll come and see her one. I'm sure she'll be down in a second. So I'm just trying to find a pink that blends. All my pinks are dry. There we go. Sorry, I'm getting very lost in the moment here and not talking, which is probably kind of why it's called dopamine colouring, because there's not the pressure, you just kind of get lost in there. You're not sure what they're for. They've been there for a few months now. You seem to get points for commenting and sharing. The crown shows you your position in the chat. Ooh. Well, thank you all for chatting so much. I do appreciate it. Although Kezzy has been chatting loads and she doesn't have a crown. Who knows? Yeah, it just sort of... Not sure what's going on. It's coming together, isn't it? It's looking slightly less chaotic. What do we think? Like, I have to say, like, I was excited to try this with you. Also kind of thinking, what on earth am I doing? I'm also not using marker paper, like alcohol marker paper. But it seems to it does seem to be sort of coming together and looking like something. So that's a win. It's very chill anyway. I mean, I'm having a blast, so I would highly recommend. Sorry guys, I'm definitely I highly recommend this as like getting lost in the process, because I really am. I kind of keep forgetting to chat. And I think that's just because I'm just like totally zoned out. So I can see why it's called dopamine colouring, because I'm very, very zoned out. But I'm not sure that's the best option when you're doing a live. I kind of need to be able to sort of talk to you. Whereas right now that's kind of not really happening too much. I'm just sort of completely zoning out. It's very loose anyway. I think that's the fun thing about the underpainting. I'm not kind of trying to stay within the lines or anything. I'm just sort of putting shadows here and there. And then gradually the shadows are adding depth to the whole thing. That's cool. I think I like it. Are we liking it? Or are we just thinking, that's crazy? Let's get another darker brown. Sorry. You need to chat to me because I'm just zoning out. You're not sure you'd be brave enough to try. Oh, you're very experimental, Alison. I love seeing what you do in your journals. It's actually very easy. I'm just scribbling. It's the easiest color. Like, I'm a bit unsure as to how it's all going to come together, but at the minute I'm having a blast. It's just, as I say, it's not very precise, but it's fun. Thank you. Yeah, it's getting there. I think at the beginning, you're just kind of like, trust the process a bit longer. Yes, we're nowhere near finished yet. We still have quite a few steps to go to sort of bring it together. I think it's crazy for me. It goes way beyond trusting the process. You're not sure you're brave enough. Well, I'm going to be there's loads of things that I've seen on Color Talk that I really want to try. There's loads of really cool, and I think I'm quite excited because I've been coloring for a long time. Like I did all the Kit and Clowder classes before Kezia was here, and it's like that was amazing, and that sort of gave me my start, and it was gave me confidence and helped me sort of learn colour and where to place shadow and all of this sort of stuff. But it was very one style of colouring. And I do think, like, in your creative journey, it is worth looking at different artists and what different artists are doing, because you can pull from so many different inspirations. And so I always kind of like, I colour dark to light, and I colour, I did get experimental with colours, but not how I use the pens and how I use the mediums. And I have to say, things like Colour Talk have really sort of helped with that, or watching just the way different artists work. As I was saying earlier about the underpainting, that's something that's done a lot by artists. And it's not something that I've ever sort of come across in the colouring world, so I wouldn't have really thought about doing it, but now I do. Sometimes I do just decide to give the thing that I'm working on a little bit of extra colour. And so yeah, it's exciting just to sort of try something different and see what it's like. And there might be, I might not do it exactly like this again, but there might be elements of the process that I would maybe take forward into another project.
Hello, people.
Is this you down?
Yes, this is me.
I need to change. I need to press. I just wanted to show you her cosplay. Hang on.
It's a bit difficult to see out of this thing.
Oh, see, this is very bright. Don't want to see my face. You're going to have to come down a bit. Are you going to show your working jaw?
Oh my god, let me adjust it. There we go.
This is her. This is her cosplay. So she's a bird. What's the name of your character?
Tokoyami.
Tokoyami from My Hero Academia.
Father made this mask for me.
But you've done everything else, and you've made wings for your friend, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Bird.
That bright light on my face is why I always fiddle with lighting, because it's not a pretty look. Hello, Arwen. It is a cool costume, isn't it? She's done really well with it. So she's done that, and she's her friend has got, I can't remember who her friend is. When she starts watching again, I will ask her. But she made a set of like wings for her, so, and got her this. She got her this. Oh, it's cool. It's like a flying jacket, like, you know, like if you're in the, like if you fly planes. She got it off Vinted, and then she's painted a t-shirt and created these red wings, and it's all fab. But it's just, I'm sitting there thinking, I have to get a week's worth of clothes when it's November and we're all in jumpers, and these costumes that are quite bulky down to Grantham on the train. Right, how's this going? I think it's getting there. Oh, hang on. The comments were there on Facebook. They seem to sort of come and disappear. Who knows? Right. I think what I might do. Yeah, she's done great, hasn't she? They're very good. Right, I think we may be at the stage that I might move on from the alcohol markers. Maybe bring in some warm greys just in the deeper shadow areas. And then we can move on to lifting it all slightly using acrylic markers. going to put some really deep shadows in some of the areas. And we can still go back in once we've got the acrylic markers are in. I say that we're moving on to acrylic markers, and I've just started faffing about with the greys, but I do think it helps to deepen some of these sort of shadow areas, and it helps it all to pop a little bit. Some of these berry things have got a bit lost, but we'll come in with the acrylic markers, hopefully will help that pop a little bit as well. I think you could have a character in the middle, and it could be some sort of like forest burrow or something. It's time. I'm doing all right, actually. I'm sitting there thinking I've got very lost in the process, but actually we're only half an hour in, or just over half an hour, so I'm well within the realms of normality for me. So I think with this, it's just a case of just keep faffing until you're kind of ready. Just bought a packet of 12 acrylic markers to see how you got on with them from Home Bargains. Yeah, I got some from Home Bargains. That's kind of how I started. And they're fine. To be honest, I think all acrylic markers, no matter what the brand, sort of dry up eventually. And it depends how often you use them. So I think the ones from Home Bargains are absolutely fab. I've had them in my stash for a while. I would show you them, but I've just literally given them to Kezias. I've kind of gone into her stash now. Shall we get some acrylic markers out now? Do some bit more layering, bit of pattern building, and then I want to put a dark background on it. And I think once we kind of get that dark background, this will really pop. But already we've sort of seen it come together from a scribbly mess to something that has quite a bit of depth and interest. Yeah. You really enjoy it. I love acrylic markers. I just think they're so much fun, and especially like as mixed media. Like I think a lot of us that play in journals and things like that we are they're just great. They go over everything. And I think if you do like mixed media colouring and things like that, they just sort of blend in so well. It makes such a difference. Now I probably, it's my favourite green in my hair. Probably took it to sketchbook class. Never mind. Right. Let's see what we've got. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to get a pink out as well because I can. Just going to put that pinks. And I've got some more oranges. Okie dokie. I want to get some of these little kind of dotty things back. Again, I'm going to build slowly and just gradually add details. And then I think we can kind of, there's a big gap. It was just the way I was stamping it because I didn't mask it properly. So I'm just going to kind of fill this gap. Yes, I do both, to be honest. You get a really nice blendy look, and I have actually like coloured with acrylic markers, but I do tend to find that they sort of layer on top. I tend to use them to add detail or to erase mistakes. They're great if something's just not quite right because they're completely opaque. You can just sort of like go over it. And see, this is why I also didn't worry too much about the fact I hadn't stamped overly well. There's a lot of, let's see, you can see it there. There's a lot of sections where my stamping was not the best, and I didn't even bother masking it off. I just sort of like loosely did it. And you're still experimenting with alcohol markers. Just keep experimenting. I can't look at this. I mean, that's not bad. That actually make a really great reverse colouring page. Okay, let's see. What colour is this? Tiny little. Tiny little bit of paper just to, oh, that is very pink. But the thing is, if that's too pink, then I just go over it again with an orange and nothing's lost. That's cool. I mean, that is a bit too pink, to be honest. But now, let's see, what colour is this? But if you decide it's too pink, you can actually, that'd probably be a better colour. You can just literally go over it. And it doesn't really matter. You've not lost. It's like the easiest thing, because if you make a mistake, you just go over it and it's fine. And it's great for adding details. I think I want to probably, and then sometimes I quite like that's still slightly wet, and I can come in and sort of like blend in slightly. And at this point, I'm going over line work and I'm going over all sorts, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just, I think this is what's fun about this sort of style of colouring. We're just playing. We're just playing and seeing what occurs. You like the pink. I think it's showing up very differently on screen to how it is in real life. In real life, it was quite, it was a very hot pink. It just looked like the wrong colour to go with the vibes of the rest of the project. Maybe try on some of the wee smaller doohickey things. These little, oh, I quite like the way that yellow pops. That's cool. And we can just add. Sometimes I like to sort of put it down and brush it out as well. And again, I'm just building up layers until it feels right. Do, do, do. Getting carried away there. That was going on the. Sorry, I'm really struggling to remember to talk. As I said, that's probably a sign that this is a very good sort of mindful exercise because I am literally I'm forgetting to do things like chat to you, which when doing a live is sort of important. Right, I think I'm going to black out the background because I do kind of want to keep playing with these elements, but I'm not quite sure. So I think we need... I'm trying to decide what medium to do the background. Shall we just go for it with acrylic markers? I think I want to go like a really deep purple. I think that will contrast quite nice. Is that deep enough? Yeah, possibly that one. You were gone a moment and it's progressed so much. We did a whole dress up thing. I'll get rid of this thing because it was annoying my daughter. Right, let's go in. And we'll block out some of this background. Never really used acrylic markers for taking out a whole background before, so let's hope that they're up to it. We're about to find out. I'm about to find out if it can cope with covering a lot of space, because that's what it's going to be required to do. I think I need a piece of paper underneath this so that I can go right to the edge. And hopefully when we do this, it'll start to pop, and we'll still be able to put sort of little sparkles over from, we'll still be able to maybe put some yellow dots and green dots coming sort of off the main section, so it'll look like it's blending in, but it's going to have this dark background which will help it pop. What's everyone had for their dinner tonight? Do you have anything nice? I had honey glazed chicken. I haven't made it in ages. You need to keep chatting to me or I'm going to keep singing, and that's just not pleasant for anyone. At least if there's things being said in the chat, I can just waffle on for a bit. I mean, that might not be pleasant either, to be honest, but it's better than me just going doop, doop, doop. Yeah, I think the block is a bit too harsh against it, so I think we will bring some of the colours out into the background so it's got a more natural blend to it. But we will do that in a little bit. I made lots of sort of like white doodleage and things like that just to kind of pull it all together. The paper will become an artwork on itself with all the excess colour. Call it modern art sale for £2,000. Yes, that would be good. Getting a fairly even coverage. So this brand of alcohol markers that I'm using here is called Shuttle Art. And it is one of the more budget brands. And as I said, I've not tried this with any of the brands that I've had. I've not tried sort of blocking out a full background. So I'm not sure how well I'm expecting it to go. But so far it's holding up. It's not too streaky. It's not getting too dry at the fact it's got a large space to be covering. I definitely would not want to be risking this with the Artex ones because they're just so unpredictable. People buy anything these days. Should take you around an art gallery. So we are live on both Facebook and YouTube. I can see there's only a couple of you over on Facebook. Nearly everyone's over on YouTube. I'm not sure if that's because of how the chat was at the beginning. Not sure now. I'm looking at this now and I keep looking up and I feel like I've ruined it more than I've brought it to life. So I'm trying not to panic. Again, and this is maybe the case of having to trust the process. I mean, purple against these colours should work because we are working with contrasting colours. So it should work. But right now it feels a little bit scary. I'm not sure if it's because it's so flat against it. It's getting really bad. Now Kezia is matching my singing in the comments. I think I'm scaring everyone with this purple background. Am I scaring you with the background? I've scared myself with the background, to be honest. It worked amazingly in my head. Yes, it's definitely a trust the process moment, Kezia. You're right there. Right now I'm struggling to trust the process. Colour can't scare you. Oh dear. At least that little doohickey thing shouldn't be annoying you anymore because it's gone. It has disappeared. Yes, definitely. It's definitely going to need something to pull it together. I agree. Splatters could help, Alison. It's going to need something. You still think it'll look better once the whole... Yeah. It's meant to pop, but I think it's just quite a stark contrast. I think possibly if I'd gone for watercolour and they'd be more sort of like blooms and movement and stuff like that. But it's fine. If it's not right, it's not the end. Mind you, we can probably put some mediums on top of it. We'll have a look. Have a look, see what we could do. Mind you, we can blend out with acrylic markers as well. One of these lives, you should be in the background doing your own thing if you want to. Okay, so now that we've ruined it, we're going to have to look at what we can do to fix it. Okay, so yeah, that's a bit too much of a contrast. Let's see what we can do. I'm going to sort of start stippling with the green. And let's bring some yellows in. Oh, I really feel like right now, I really feel like I've ruined it. Sorry, guys. Let's just see what we can do. See, this is the thing when you try something brand new. Doing it live is always a bit of a risk. But, you know, we live and learn. I just felt it needed something to make it pop, but I think the solid colour is quite harsh. So we will just keep going. And hopefully I'll not still be here at midnight. I really hope we're not still here at midnight because I've not done my Peachtober thing yet. I was actually highly tempted to paint my Peachtober painting with you. Maybe I should have done it. Might have been more successful. Ooh, that's bright. Well, I've gone from it being really chill and really relaxed to feeling a bit stressed, to be honest. So we will continue to learn from this. And yeah, for those of you that were feeling a bit intimidated by the process, have I helped? Oh dear. I think the stippling is helping. It's softening it. And it's still sort of created a bit of a contrast. So yeah. This is what I was saying about it's great about acrylic markers. I actually think that I use them more often for fixing mistakes than for other things, and that's what I love them, because they literally go over absolutely anything. There's nothing that I have coloured or found that an acrylic marker won't stick to or won't go over. That's looking better. We're getting there. Need to blend the edges of the main colouring into the background. So there doesn't seem to be such a stark contrast between the two. Well done, guys, for sticking with me. No one's disappeared whilst it's all gone wrong. Maybe it's more interesting viewing. It's like, will she fix it? Dun, dun, dun. Who knows? The tension. State my fingers. It's because I best blending tool in the world, your fingers. I don't think anyone had anything for dinner. No one's answered me. Need a cup of tea after this, though, I tell you. And then I'll have to knuckle down and paint today's Peachtober. Today's Peachtober prompt is axe, of all things. It's funny though, because some of the ones that are really not like yesterday it was bear. That should have been so easy. I've discovered I really can't draw bears very well at all. So I don't know why they're so difficult to draw, but I find it really difficult to draw. And then axe, which I thought I would have absolutely no inspiration for at all. And it did take me a while. It did take me quite a bit of contemplating, but actually I've ended up really liking. The piece. That's why it's quite good to be sort of pushed outside your comfort zone sometimes. You end up creating something that you never thought you would have, which is good. Right, the softening is definitely helping. I feel like we can, excuse my phone. It was sort of there because I was going to sort of gradually film some of the process for a reel, because I've suddenly realised that once Peachtober is over, I have no content for Instagram. So I've just been sort of filming tiny little snippets of it here and there. Especially with being on holiday, suddenly realise how much I've got to do. I've got to I need to get all these prompts actually finished by tomorrow so that I can be ready and organised before I go on holiday, so that they're all ready to go up. So that's all over on Instagram. And the reason I've sort of been sharing my whole process with you is it's part of who I am, and it's part of what JMC is, and you know, all the ranges that I eventually bring out come from these sort of sketches and ideas and things like that. And also by including you guys from the initial process, it means you can have input. You can kind of say, oh yeah, that would be cool. I'd like to see that as a product. So you've got a bit more involvement, which I think is fun. To be honest, I'm still glad I put the dark. I don't think we're right yet. I don't think we've achieved it. Like in my head, I thought I was just going to put the dark contrast in and it was really going to make it pop. But I think what's kind of happened now is that the purple, we were talking earlier about an underpainting, that the purple has given it that sort of underpainting. So it's going to be like an overall piece as opposed to like a section that pops out. But we are going to have sort of like a darker area behind the main element, which I think kind of works. It's kind of going to help it to pop. It's going to get there. It's not quite there yet, but it's going to get there. So do we think the stippling has improved it, or have I made it worse? It's all gone very quiet in the chat. You need to talk to me, people. I think I've frightened a lot of people. There's quite a few people jumped off. That's like, yep, it's all got too much. Completely understand. All feels a bit much for me as well. Oh, you're still dropping. Well done if you stayed on. I'm impressed. Note to self, don't try a new thing when you are live. It is liable to go horribly wrong. Right, let's get some orange dots. It looks like the images are lying on a bed of leaves. Oh, thank you. I think it's going to get there. I think we're going to be all right. Just needed to kind of trust the process for a minute. You're not sure about the stippling. Okay, that's fine. I'm not sure it's my favourite either. I just think it's slightly better than the stark purple. But thank you for your feedback. Oh.
Hello, you mentioned wanting a cup of tea.
Oh.
You go.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I'm gonna do one.
Thank
Ha
you.
ha ha. I'm so mysterious. I give cups of tea.
I think it softens the background. It's good. Like, it's great having your feedback. It does really kind of make a difference. As I said, this is completely new. And I have to say, if I was to do it again, I'd probably approach it differently. But I'm learning. I'm learning something new. And you don't get it right on the first time when you learn something new. It takes time. So that's okay. We'll just have to give it the time it takes. Now I'm doing my like fallback. Fall else fails. Do dots. we will have white doodleage will eventually come in as well to rescue things. But now I'm just sort of gradually. You just feel like I'm losing the main image. You're probably right. We are. Well, let's see if we can. What we might be able to do is bring the main image back with some black and white line work. That might help. I just had to rescue it from the dark purple because that was just horrifically awful. But I agree. It's sort of like blended in now. I do get what you mean. Let's see what we can do. But thank you for the feedback because it's going to help me. It's going to help give direction as to where we go next. You know? I'm going to start fiddling with the main thing again because, I was in my happy place when we were doing that. It's definitely not looking as crazy. You might even like it by the end of the process. Oh, I like that. There's hope. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to see the video that I did at the weekend about how many journal pages can I create in a day. It was 8 hours I gave myself, not 24. But that was quite interesting. There was one page that I did in that and I absolutely hated it. It was the first page I did, and I think like I'd built myself up with like, oh, I've got a full day of crafting. And I did this page and absolutely hated it. And I was so gutted by the fact that I hated it. And then I came back to it a bit later and realised what was missing was all the line work. And as soon as I added the line work, it made all the difference in the world. And I was like, oh yeah, excellent. So I'm hoping that the same will happen here, that we will rescue it with a little bit of line work. So let's try that now. Let's see if we can get back the main image. So again, I'm using acrylic marker. This is a slightly different one. This is the hoo-hoo, but it's got a fine liner to it, which really helps when it comes to doing line work, strangely enough. So let's see if we can make this look a little bit better and get a nice sketchy look going on. And hopefully we can make the main part pop from the background. But I agree with you, Alison, it was getting a bit lost. So let's see if we can bring it back. Thank you for being ever so patient with me. As I said, one day maybe I'll do another live once I've practiced this. It'll be like dopamine colouring, and now I know what I'm actually doing. Because before I clearly didn't. Bit of cross hatching. I like a bit of cross hatching. I've gone back into quiet mode again. You saw that crazy amount of pages. I actually want to do another, next time I get a full day, I want to see if I can actually do a journal start to finish in one day. I think that would be a fun video to try. I was delighted at having finished my journal in that video though. That was quite an achievement, because I was like, I started off, I was so frustrated because I was going so slow. It was really annoying. I've slightly damaged the nib on this pen, which is a bit annoying, which is why I'm deliberately going for a very sketchy look on this, because I've sort of lost the ability to do a proper fine line. I kind of have to hold it on an angle. I sort of jammed it into the lid at the wrong angle. So yeah, then after that I was like, oh dear. Still works, but it's a little bit scratchier than it should be. That's all right. I like this stage as well, actually, doing this. I don't know if you've ever tried, like, just going over the lines that are there. So, like, you can use a stamped image that you've got, but then just adding, like, really loose, scribbly lines over it. It just helps it to look really sketchy. Hand-drawn. Which I like. I'm kind of not even accurately following the shapes either. Purple's overpowered it, but the rest is looking great. Well, hopefully by the time we've done the line work, hopefully the stippling's sort of taken that way. The reason I went for purple is because I thought that it's kind of a good contrasting colour to orange. It's kind of the opposite end of the colour wheel. I think the issue was it was quite a flat purple because we went for the acrylic markers. But as I said, I've never created a background using acrylic markers before, so that was new. And we've discovered it's a little bit flat and lifeless when we do that. So sometimes when you create, it's not about creating the best journal page you've ever made or creating a perfect piece of artwork. Even if you come away and don't like the page you've done at all, but you've learned something from it, it's not been a waste of time because you take that learning forward. You know, I probably wouldn't do the acrylic marker background again. I think if I was to do this again, I would maybe come in with like maybe like an acrylic ink or something that had a bit more movement. So I think I didn't want to do watercolor because I wanted it to have the opacity against the main project, and that's why I made the choice to go for the acrylic paint marker. But I don't think that came across as very flat. So I think maybe if I was to use an acrylic ink, I could still build up that opacity, but because it sort of moves a little bit like watercolor, depending on how you apply it, we would maybe still be able to have movement and shade and tone and things like that. So I think that would have worked better. So now, because it ended up so flat, that's why I'm trying to sort of lift it. I think this is actually going to work. It looks really dull just now, and I appreciate that. But I think once we start getting the white line work on here as well, I think white line work, and then either, I know we've mentioned white splashes, I think possibly gold splashes. Like if we did get some white line work and some gold splashes, that we couldn't really lift it so that but I think the purple should have worked. We've just gone for something that's very flat, and I think because of the way we did the underpainting to this and the fact that there's sort of like multiple colors and color tones in the actual colored elements, the contrast of that sort of look, because there's a lot more color tones in this than had I done my normal style of coloring. So the fact that we've got those multiple color tones and then we've got a really flat color behind it, I think that's what's not worked. But as I say, I will know that for next time. And if we attempt this again, which I think I might, it has been fun. I'd maybe attempt it in a video. I really want to do a video sometime where I try lots of different viral colouring trends. And this was one, but obviously when I do the videos for YouTube, I have the ability to edit. So it's not quite as painful to watch if I am learning and it's not turned out properly. I would probably try it again in the same video. But obviously this is live and I can't do that. We would be here for hours. We've already been here for an hour and a half, so it would be unbearable to start all over again and fix the mistake. So right now I'm just problem solving, and that's okay. This might not be like the examples of dopamine colouring that I have seen on Colour Talk. I've probably gone in a very different direction to where it should have gone, but I'm adapting to the piece. I quite often find that when I'm creating as well, that a piece tells me where it needs to go. It wasn't looking right, and now I'm going within the realms of what I know and what I'm comfortable with in order to fix this and lift it. I might not get it so that it's perfectly good, but hopefully we will get it looking better than it did for a while, and we will go back to the process again sometime, and hopefully it will be a bit more successful. But I'm just doing very loose sketchy lines. I'm not kind of even filling going over it properly. I think that has helped to lift it. Definitely looks better outlined. It's amazing the difference outlining make. It really is. That's one thing I learned when I did that journal page one. It's like, oh boy, it's like I hated my tree. Absolutely hated it. And then it was amazing. Added a little bit of black on white line work, and all of a sudden it was like bish bash bosh. Looks amazing. Black is better, it pops out more. Yeah, it's helped it not be quite so lost. And we see it pops, but we've still got the distinction between the background and the foreground. I'm still sort of doing some of these dots that are coming away from it, because that, I think, to me, that helped to blend it a little bit. As I said, this is my art journal, which is a place to learn. So when we get to the stage of doing a flip through of this one, I've got a flip through of my other journals, but as I say, I'm going away, so if I get a video ready for this Friday, it'll be a miracle, but definitely the Friday after there'll not be a video. Right, okay, that's black. Let's go on with white now and see, hopefully, once we put the white in, it'll be like, ta-da! And all will be right with the world. I don't know where to start. Right. Hopefully that'll just make all the difference in the world. Sticking with keeping it very loose and very scribbly. Also try not to go over the black line work. Quite often I go over it. I think in this instance, I just want to do what I can to make it pop. Could actually add sort of random scribbles. Random scribbles on the outside. That's become one of, I've discovered as I've been drawing, that these sort of like little random squiggles coming off things, it seems to be like my new current style. You'll see when I do the whiskers point in Peachtober, it's literally the whole of the drawing's pretty much been done by me just scribbling doohickeys. I am literally scribbling, and I think this is partly what the dopamine colouring is. It's kind of like, and I'm holding it really far back and I'm not following lines, I'm just adding scribbly lines. And I think that was kind of the idea of it, that you're not creating, trying to get everything perfect. We've done a lot of just scribbling with this. And okay, this might not be the best piece of art I've ever produced, but considering a lot of it has been formed through just scribbling, it's not bad. Maybe put white over the black and layer a bit. Yeah, sometimes I do. We have lots of white doodleage. It's amazing how white lifts it though. This is reminding me very much of my book that I've got, that's The Folk in the Faraway Tree, that I've turned into an art journal. The art style from the artist that drew the artwork in that is very scribbly like this. You can tell I've shaken the pen there. We've suddenly got very, very opaque white. Spread that in various places and come back once I've got a thinner line again. What are we thinking now? Have we rescued it, or is it too scribbly? Are you now looking at it going, oh my goodness? I actually quite like the scribbles. For me, I'm enjoying them. I'm enjoying them as well because I've gone back into a real sort of zen mode with it. Rescued. Well, my daughter thinks it's rescued. It's lovely to have the support of my daughter. For anyone that doesn't have nepotism involved, what do we think? Is it rescued? Or is it now just OTT? It's definitely much better with the black and white. Yeah, not my best work. I'm more than happy to admit it's not my best work. But yeah, it's looking a bit better. It's almost pop art style. A little bit. Still think the background needs lifted a little bit. But let's see what happens when we do the gold splatters. It's kind of like an overall pattern on the page. It still doesn't pop out. I agree. We've kind of lost the fact that it pops out. Yeah, maybe I should go back in. I think it was popping out and then I've kind of probably overkilled the white, but I still think it looks better than it did before. So, hurry. Might put a sentiment down there. Get some gold splatters on it and then put a sentiment down. Sorry, having issues there with my pen. Now that we've got it opaque white again, I'll go back over and do those bits. Doodly border. If all else fails, stick a doodly border on it. I think it kind of is an all over piece now. And I do agree that we've kind of lost the way it pops, but I'd still prefer it. But I think possibly let's put a little bit of gold splatters and a wee sentiment there. And I think it might look like this is how we intended it for it to come out. Instead of how to rescue a complete disaster. Okay. It's better when you take the sheet off, doesn't it? Right, let's try a little bit of gold splatter and then we'll pop a wee sentiment down there. I think it's all right. Considering I went through quite a bit of a stage there thinking, oh pants, I am live and this is horrific and what am I going to do? I think we've done okay. Right, let me just grab me watercolour. Let's get some gold. I think some gold splatterage. If I can actually get into my paints, would be most helpful. washed all my paintbrushes, so I've got a large array of ones to use. It doesn't often happen. I sort of like go through phases where there's nothing decent. And of course, it's continually nothing decent because I continually leave my brushes in water, which you're really not supposed to do. Right. Got my watercolours precariously. I think the gold, that looks a bit dull just now, but it actually dries really good and with quite a sheen on it. So I think that will lift it once it's dry. I'm going to go for the corners because I think that's where we need the lift. It may completely ruining my background there. Well, I don't think I'm giving you the best example of dopamine colouring. Hopefully you still had fun. I'm not quite finished yet. I sound like I'm wrapping up there. But hopefully it was, you kind of got roughly the idea of what was supposed to be occurring. And if nothing else, we've learned to be patient and trust the process. Let's see what we have. Right, just seeing what I have, what sentiments I have. I will dry that with the heat gun if I have, because I think you need to see that. This paint is gorgeous when it's dry. It's got a real sheen on it. Let's see. Oh, keep on believing. That seems like the perfect sentiment for this, because we really had to keep believing in the process. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think it's one of those that when I come back to it, I'm feeling slightly less stressed by it. I might be like, actually, that's not as bad as I thought it was. Like that, maybe keep on believing at the bottom. What do you think? Keep on believing. I believe in you. We have 2 sentiments. Right, I need to just dry this off with the heat gun, and then we will see if we can, which sentiments to put on. I kind of just want to keep on believing, but I feel like the space needs more. So possibly that. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Right, let's grab the heat gun, give this a wee blast. Don't know if you can see the bits where it's dried, that gold has a real sheen when it's dry. Normally I wouldn't heat gun it. I think sometimes when you heat gun paints or anything like this, you can actually sort of burn the mica a little bit, and it's not quite as shiny. But see what I mean? When it's dry, it's so much shinier than when it's wet. And hopefully that's been enough to lift that hideous purple. Just heating it from the back slightly so it's not too warped. There we go. And then, where's some glue? I need some glue. There we go. I can't even pronounce that, Kezia. I don't even know what you're trying to be saying. Come on, glue. Well, I've had a hard night. At least you work. Keep on believing. I believe in you. Well, thank you for sticking with me. For those of you that have stayed to the end, I really do appreciate it. It's been a long, hard ride. So yeah, thank you for sticking in there. And yeah, it's okay. It's very different for anything that I've normally created. So I've got lots to learn. And as I continue to learn, I will continue to share with you. But thank you so much for joining me and sticking with me. I really do appreciate it. And I will now try and underneath all of this chaos is my mouse. I don't actually need to plug it in because it's run out of battery. It's like my mouse has lost the will to live as well. Right. Thank you ever so much. I won't be here next Monday, but I will be back the Monday after. So please do. Oh, thank you, Lucy. Please do. It's okay. Yeah, I agree, Deb. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. So I'm not here next Monday, but please do share your makes in the group. I love to see what you're doing. And yeah, I will see you guys again. Take care. Bye.